Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's just Marcel today. You're stuck with me. Question I get asked loads, obviously living here nearly 8 years now, was like, oh, I'd love to live in Tenerife. How do I do it? Well, these 5 tips I've got. Stay tuned for the 5th one. That's probably the best tip I'll ever give you in my life. So here's what I did. I'm not saying you do this, but this worked for me, you know. And obviously times have changed since Brexit and things like that, but we'll go over that in a little bit. Anyway, number 1. I moved here. What I did, I booked a hotel for 2 weeks, and I thought in that 2 weeks I should be able to get myself an apartment, and I did. I just went around talking to people in local gyms and things like that. You'd be surprised when you actually get to talk to locals, English, anybody, they'll help you quite a lot, you know. So I got my apartment, moved in. I had to put like 4 grand down, obviously, because I wasn't working. I didn't have a work contract. So I'll be honest with you, cash talks over here. It really does when you come to renting and things like that. At the time, the rents had just gone up, so I was paying $650 for a 1-bedroom studio flat. And that was in the Borinquen, which is right next door to the Ponderosa, just next to Siam Park and the bus station. So it was quite central, you know. It was ideal for me looking for jobs in Las Americas and things like that. A lot of the rents have just gone up as well this year over here, so it is getting quite expensive to live. I think the same apartment that I rented when I first got here, you'd be looking at about €1,000 now for the same studio. 1-bedroom apartment, Las Americas, probably 1,100 quid plus. Out of town, you probably get a 1-bedroom for about 700. But obviously you need transport to get into town and things like that, you know. Best place to search for properties as well, I found Tenerife Marketplace, ID Lister. And then you've got a website called Mil Anuncios as well, which is a Spanish website. But they've always got rental properties on there, you know, and talk to people word of mouth. That's your best thing you can do. Here we go. Number 2. So, got yourself an apartment. Happy days. You got yourself settled. Nice little gaff. What are you going to do for work? There's work all over the island. There's bar work, barmen, security work, doorman, glass collectors, shot girls. There's everything. So what I done is I went and filled in a CV and printed off, I think, about 40 copies. You just go to a local internet cafe and that they do it all for you. It's low cost, you know. Takes you about half an hour to write out your CV and things like that. You don't have to. It's just something I've done. I'm old school, you know. So then what I did is I just went around all the bars, clubs, things like that, sort of jobs I thought I might want to do, you know. My first job was a bar job. I'm not going to lie, I did tell a little white lie. I said I had pulled pints before. I've never pulled a pint in my life. So I'd already put my CV out into other places. So I done bar work for 2 days, blagged that. It was all right. But then I got a job offer at the Kelowna Beach Club for security. So obviously I took that, stood in the sun all day, you know. Absolutely brilliant. Loved that job. So what jobs have I done apart from, obviously, I've done my bar work, I've done security. Then I got offered maintenance in the Kelowna because towards the end of the year, obviously, it goes quiet for security work. So I was a pool guy for 6 months. That was sick as well. Loved that. Then I moved on to another job. I was doing security on the parties down Veronica Strip. Worked in nearly every bar down there. Doing stuff in that. I've done PR work down there. You name it. Here we go. Wages. Wages are crap. Not going to lie. It's a tough life over here in a sense of like your money. You won't make loads and loads of money, depending on what job you're doing, obviously, you know. But I come here for a lifestyle, not to make loads of money. I just love the outdoor life, you know. But basically, you're looking from about €5 an hour, to be honest. Up overs of that. There's contract work available, you know, so you'll need other things for that. But now I've actually got the sickest job in the world. I'm a bud tender. I work in the greenhouse on Veronica Strip, so if you're ever down, call in, come and see us. I work just literally, oh, let's have a look, about in there. Stay tuned for number 5. It's one of the best tips I'll ever give you. Well, here's number 3. You're going to have to go down the legal route if you're going to stay here more than 3 months. That's just since Brexit. If you're from any other foreign country, anywhere in Europe, you're all right, you're legal, stop here as long as you want, sort of thing. But English, they have to be off the island within after 3 months, you know. So there's a lot of people who, like the swallows who come in just the winter, older people that haven't bothered getting the residency or NIE, and they have to leave the island now where they used to stop here like for 6, 7 months of the year. It's a bit sad, but it's just the way things are now. So anyway, to get an NIE, this is what I've done. I used an agent. What you have to do is go to the police station early in the morning, fill all the forms in, then you go and pay some money at the bank, go back. It's a little bit long, but it's just what you have to do to get your paperwork sorted, you know. I then got my social security, and then a couple of years later, I got my full residency. So I'm totally legal here. I've had contracted work, I've had non-contracted work. I'm not going to lie to you. Number 4. So you got your apartment sorted, decide what you want to do for work. You're going to decide whether you go down the legal route. Number 4 is your cost of living. Obviously, I've already gone over the price of rentals and things like that. Food's quite cheap over here. Supermarkets relatively cheap. You just got to get out of town a little bit. Go to local ones like Mercadona at San Eugenio, Los Cristianos. You've got Dial of Pricks in town, but they're a bit more touristy prices, you know, so slightly more expensive. So if you do get out of town, cost of living is slightly cheaper as well. Transportation, there's loads of bus routes. They run most of the days and nights, you know. There's a normal taxi service. You've got bike hire. You can hire mopeds for roughly €50 a week. Things like that, you know. So you can live out of town and then hire a ped or even buy a ped. But if you do buy a ped over here, you are going to need an NIA number and an empadronmento. And what an empadronmento is that is like a legal document to say you were living in the house you're living in and you're registered to that address, you know. Right, here we are at the end. Tip number 5. What do you reckon that could be? It's the best tip I've ever had on the island. Don't tell anybody your business. Trust me on that one, right? Because people will want to know your business. They'll want to know. Don't tell people how much money you've got, whether you've been left 50 grand, 20 grand, 10 grand off Uncle Albert. You know, people don't need to know your business. Not everybody on this island is going to be your friend. Believe me on that one, you know. There's a lot of dodgy people on here. There's a lot more good people, believe me. The people I've met, you know, absolutely sound. Yeah, your reputation goes a long way on this island too. So be that person. If you're going to turn up for work on time, because you'd be surprised, like it's a small island, people do talk. So if you've been an arsehole in your last job and you want to go and get another job, won't take long for them to find out, because everybody knows everybody on this island. It's a very, very small, tight-knit island. But if you come here, come look us up. I'll try and give you any tips, help I can. Keep following us for more tips on the real island life. Peace out.